Charisma is not about beauty, status, or perfect words. It's a presence, a subtle gravitational pull that makes people want to be around you without quite knowing why. The charismatic seducer understands this instinctively. They don't chase, they draw in. They don't perform to impress, they create an atmosphere that makes others feel alive in their presence. Unlike the classic romantic seducer, whose appeal is physical or sexual, the charismatic seducer operates on energy. They radiate a kind of confidence that feels effortless and self-assured, yet not arrogant. They know how to hold attention, not by demanding it, but by embodying it. You can spot them in a crowd, the one whose stillness feels louder than everyone else's noise. The secret behind their allure is psychological attunement. They understand human emotion, consciously or not. When they speak, they listen at the same time. Their eyes are present, their tone deliberate, their gestures slow. They project calm and certainty, two things people crave when they feel anxious or unseen. That's why charisma feels magnetic, it fills the emotional gap others didn't know they had. But charisma is not just about being smooth or charming. It's about influence. The charismatic seducer taps into the human tendency to mirror confidence. When you're around someone who seems completely at ease with themselves, your brain begins to relax too. That ease feels intoxicating. It's not that they're special, it's that they make you feel special. In real life, think of someone like Martin Luther King Jr., or Marilyn Monroe, or Barack Obama. Different eras, different styles, yet all carried the same energetic signature, conviction mixed with warmth. They could make a crowd feel personally spoken to. People lean toward them, emotionally and physically, because charisma is contagious. It's the emotional version of gravity. In relationships, the charismatic seducer rarely pressures. They don't pursue love with force, they invite it through curiosity. They give you the sense that you are being seen, deeply and without judgment. They know how to make silence feel comfortable and eye contact feel like a dialogue. They listen as if your thoughts matter, and that alone can be disarming in a world addicted to self-absorption. What makes their style powerful is their emotional neutrality. They're not desperate for validation. They don't seek approval from others, and that independence becomes attractive. People trust those who don't need them too much. When someone feels complete in themselves, others subconsciously assign them higher value. Charisma thrives on that perception, being wanted without appearing to want. To embody this in real life, it starts with self-possession. The charismatic seducer moves slowly, speaks clearly, and rarely over-explains. They know that mystery is not about hiding things, it's about not oversharing. Their power comes from restraint. When you say less, others fill the silence with imagination, and imagination is always more seductive than fact. You can apply this energy in almost any situation. In conversation, stop trying to impress and start observing. People are drawn to those who make them feel understood, not outperformed. Use pauses. Let your words breathe. Watch how someone's posture shifts when you truly listen. That's charisma in motion, creating emotional space where others feel safe to be seen. In work or leadership, the charismatic seducer inspires through conviction rather than command. They understand that people don't follow orders, they follow belief. When you speak from conviction, not the loud kind, but the grounded, unshakable kind, others sense it immediately. It's the difference between someone who wants to be believed and someone who simply is. Their influence often feels effortless because it's rooted in authenticity. They don't try to play a role, they become it. The charismatic seducer doesn't mimic confidence, they embody comfort in who they are. Even their imperfections seem deliberate, because true charisma doesn't depend on perfection, it depends on coherence. Everything they do aligns with who they appear to be. Of course, charisma can be dangerous when used without integrity. History has shown this repeatedly, individuals like cult leaders, dictators, or manipulative public figures who weaponized their charisma to control. They understood how to charm, persuade, and emotionally anchor people's trust. Charisma amplifies whatever's inside the person wielding it. If their motives are clean, it uplifts. If they're corrupt, it deceives. The difference lies in intent. A genuine charismatic seducer seeks connection, not control. They attract by being fully alive, not by making others feel small. Their allure comes from emotional generosity, the ability to make people feel valued, capable, and seen. They don't drain the room, they elevate it. Applying this energy in your own life doesn't mean becoming someone you're not. It means refining what's already there. Charisma grows out of self-awareness. When you know your values, your boundaries, and your emotional triggers, you stop leaking insecurity. You become steady, grounded, and people sense that. They gravitate to stability the way fire draws to oxygen. Even in small moments, talking to a stranger, entering a room, pitching an idea, charisma can be cultivated through presence. Slow down. Notice how you stand, how you breathe, how your tone carries. Speak as if your words already have weight. You don't need to dominate to be noticed. The charismatic seducer doesn't fight for attention, they attract it through calm conviction. You'll find this type in every sphere: the actor who doesn't need the spotlight yet commands it, the leader whose silence is louder than other speeches, the person who turns heads without saying a word. What they all share is control over their inner world. Charisma isn't about dominating the outer one, it's about mastering your emotional state so fully that others feel compelled to sync with it. At its core, the charismatic seducer reminds us that power doesn't always come from force. It can come from stillness, empathy, and presence. True charisma isn't manipulation. It's alignment, a harmony between who you are and how you make others feel. When those two meet, attraction becomes effortless. That's what the charismatic seducer understands better than most. People don't fall for you because of what you say or what you look like. They fall for how they feel when they're near you. Charisma is emotional architecture. It's how someone arranges their energy, words, and presence in a way that alters the emotional state of others. It's not about charm or eloquence, those are surface traits. True charisma is psychological. It's how you regulate emotion and project confidence without saying a word. It's power that feels calm rather than loud. To understand charisma, you have to understand mirroring. Human beings are emotional mirrors. We unconsciously mimic the energy we perceive as dominant in the room. When someone is nervous, everyone feels tense. When someone is grounded, everyone feels safe. The charismatic seducer knows this instinctively. They understand that emotion spreads faster than logic. So they don't try to convince people with arguments, they influence them with state. They feel what they want others to feel. That's why charisma isn't about talking. It's about regulation. If you can hold your own nervous system steady when everyone else is spiraling, you instantly become magnetic. People sense that stability and subconsciously anchor to it. You become the emotional reference point, the calm in the storm. This is why great leaders, negotiators, and seducers rarely rush. Their stillness has gravity. The second mechanism is emotional pacing. Charismatic people know how to set rhythm in conversation. They can sense when to pause, when to lean in, and when to let silence do the work. The mind associates confidence with timing. People who don't rush seem certain. They speak as if time bends for them, not against them. That's psychological control disguised as ease. Watch any great communicator, Denzel Washington, Steve Jobs, or even someone like Rihanna. They speak slowly, with rhythm and conviction, never hurrying to be understood. They give their words space to sink in. It's not performance, it's control. They understand that silence creates tension, and tension holds attention. The charismatic seducer also uses emotional pacing to mirror the internal world of others. They meet people where they are emotionally before leading them somewhere else. If someone's anxious, they don't instantly overwhelm them with calm, they start by acknowledging their energy, matching it slightly, then gradually shifting tone and rhythm toward steadiness. This creates unconscious trust. It tells the nervous system, you understand me. Another psychological lever is presence. Most people split their attention between what they're saying, what others think, and what they'll say next. The charismatic seducer doesn't. They give their full focus to the moment. It's unnerving at first because it's rare. When someone is genuinely present, it feels intimate, even without physical closeness. It's as if time slows. The person across from them feels illuminated because someone's finally there. Presence is the ultimate form of validation. It says, I see you, and I'm not thinking about anything else right now. That level of attention makes people reveal more of themselves, emotionally, intellectually, and sometimes physically. The charismatic seducer knows this isn't manipulation, it's a dance of focus. They understand that the mind follows where attention goes, and attention is the most seductive currency of all. A subtler aspect of charisma is energy control. Every interaction has energetic texture, warmth, tension, curiosity, authority. The charismatic seducer knows how to adjust it like a dimmer. They can raise intensity by locking eyes or lowering their voice. They can diffuse hostility with a half smile or shift posture to invite connection. These are small calibrations, but they change everything. The body always reveals intention before words do. Real-world example, imagine a person walking into a crowded room. They're not the loudest or the best dressed, yet eyes turn. It's not luck, it's calibration. Their posture is upright but relaxed. Their gaze moves slowly, scanning without neediness. Their micro-expressions are congruent, calm confidence, a hint of curiosity. They occupy space without trying to dominate it. That energy shift alone can change the emotional temperature of a room. In relationships, charisma operates through emotional reciprocity. The charismatic seducer knows that attraction isn't created by trying to impress but by creating resonance. When you share something vulnerable but steady, you make space for the other person to do the same. Vulnerability combined with composure is magnetic, it signals emotional maturity. It tells others they can be open without losing safety. That's why people with charisma often feel addictive. They awaken others emotionally, not through games, but through contrast. They embody qualities people crave: calm, confidence, curiosity, and by being around them, others temporarily access those feelings in themselves. It's not the seducer people fall for, it's how they feel in their presence. In practical terms, applying charisma starts with awareness of your inner state. Before speaking, breathe. Ground yourself in your body. Slow your movements. The goal isn't to appear confident, it's to be composed. The more comfortable you are with silence, the more others will fill it for you. The more ease you carry, the more authority your words gain. Charisma also grows from empathy. The charismatic seducer doesn't just read people, they feel them. They can sense shifts in tone, posture, and expression. They adjust instinctively, not to manipulate, but to stay in sync. That fluid adaptability makes others feel understood without words. There's a paradox at the heart of charisma, it's about both detachment and connection. You have to care about others, but not need their approval. You have to be warm but self-contained. This balance creates tension, and tension creates fascination. People are drawn to what they can feel but not fully possess. The charismatic seducer lives in that middle ground, close enough to connect, distant enough to remain mysterious. When applied consciously, charisma becomes a form of emotional intelligence. It helps in business, leadership, creativity, and relationships. It's not manipulation if your intent is clean. Charisma, at its best, isn't about bending others, it's about aligning with them so powerfully that they move willingly in your direction. Every interaction you have is an energy exchange. The charismatic seducer understands this better than anyone. They know when to withdraw to create intrigue, when to engage to build warmth, and when to hold stillness to command. Their influence doesn't come from dominance, it comes from mastery over self. True charisma doesn't speak to the mind, it speaks to the nervous system. It tells others, you're safe here, or you can trust me, or I know where I'm going, follow me. It's primal, ancient, and deeply human. The more you learn to command your emotional energy, the more magnetic you become. Charisma is not something you perform. It's something you tune into. It's alignment, presence, rhythm, empathy, and power in harmony. Once you understand that, you stop trying to be charismatic and start becoming someone others can't ignore. Charisma can't be copied because it isn't a set of behaviors, it's an alignment of inner and outer worlds. When your mind, body, and energy move in the same direction, you become magnetic without effort. The charismatic seducer isn't playing a role, they've refined their emotional presence to the point that others feel it instantly. The first step to developing that kind of energy is internal regulation. Charisma dies in anxiety and overthinking. You can't project confidence while your body is in survival mode. So before you learn how to speak, you learn how to breathe. Before you learn how to connect, you learn how to slow down. The charismatic seducer's calm is not accidental, it's cultivated through self-awareness. They train themselves to notice the fluctuations in their own state. When tension rises, they don't resist it, they observe it, breathe through it, and let it dissolve. The nervous system responds to permission, not pressure. Once you stop fighting your emotions, you gain control over them, and people feel that stability when they're around you. Calmness is charisma in disguise. Next comes presence. Presence is what people truly crave, even more than attention. Most interactions are fragmented, two people talking while half their mind is elsewhere. The charismatic seducer operates differently. When they're with someone, they are with them. They don't check their phone, they don't rush their answers, they don't fill silence with noise. They listen fully, with curiosity rather than strategy. To practice presence, start by slowing your internal tempo. When you walk, walk slower. When you speak, speak slower. Let moments breathe. It's not about acting composed, it's about syncing your rhythm with the world around you. Most people live in a state of internal speed, always hurrying to prove something. The one who isn't rushing stands out immediately. Charisma is deeply connected to emotional honesty. The charismatic seducer doesn't hide behind false humility or fake positivity. They can express emotion without losing control, which is what makes them powerful. Vulnerability, when paired with composure, creates authenticity. It's what allows someone to open up to you because they feel you're real. This honesty extends to how they handle fear and rejection. Instead of shrinking, they stay open. They know that rejection doesn't define their worth, it only filters where their energy belongs. That quiet confidence is what gives them presence. You can't fake that level of emotional acceptance, it's the result of a person who's made peace with themselves. The charismatic seducer also understands the importance of self-containment. They don't overshare, overreact, or over-explain. Their restraint builds tension, not coldness, but mystery. When you speak less about yourself, people project curiosity onto you. That curiosity is the foundation of attraction. You don't need to hide, you just need to stop performing. Leave space for imagination. The body plays a major role in developing charisma. Your posture, your gaze, your stillness, they all communicate before you open your mouth. The goal isn't to strike a pose but to align your body with ease. Shoulders back, spine straight, movement slow and deliberate. When you move with intention, you project authority without trying. Even your eyes matter. The charismatic seducer's gaze isn't aggressive or vacant, it's patient. They look at people, not through them. They break eye contact slowly, not nervously. They use their eyes to hold emotional rhythm. A sustained, soft gaze signals confidence, a darting one signals insecurity. You can shift an entire interaction just by controlling your gaze. Communication, for this type, is less about what's said and more about what's felt. The tone, rhythm, and warmth of your voice carry more weight than your words. Charisma is born in the subtext. When you speak with grounded conviction, you tell others, you can relax, I know what I'm doing. The key is emotional pacing. Don't match someone's nervousness, lead them out of it. Speak from your chest, not your throat. Pause before answering. People remember the way you made them feel, not your exact phrasing. In relationships, the charismatic seducer knows how to build connection without chasing it. They don't rush intimacy. They understand that attraction is a slow burn built through comfort and tension. They reveal themselves gradually, allowing the other person to keep discovering new layers. It's not manipulation, it's awareness of human rhythm. To develop this, stop trying to be interesting. Be interested. When you give someone your full attention, they begin to associate you with depth. They'll replay your conversations in their mind not because you said something impressive, but because you made them feel something rare, genuine focus. Charisma also demands independence. Neediness kills attraction faster than silence. The charismatic seducer is emotionally self-sufficient. They enjoy attention but don't require it. That autonomy gives their energy weight. When people know you don't need them to validate you, they trust your presence more. It feels real, not strategic. And yet, charisma isn't cold. It's warm but contained. Empathetic but detached enough to stay centered. That balance takes practice, and it starts with building a life that fulfills you beyond social approval. When your worth isn't dependent on others, you move differently. You become lighter, freer, more confident. The charismatic seducer's greatest tool is curiosity. They never assume, they inquire. They read people not to control but to understand. They sense the emotions under words, the pauses between sentences. They can mirror without mimicry, lead without pressure. When you master curiosity, you make others feel important, and that feeling makes you unforgettable. Charisma isn't an act, it's an energy of ownership. It's how you walk into a room, how you handle rejection, how you respond when things go wrong. You can't fake composure under pressure, you either have it or you train it. The more comfortable you become in uncertainty, the more powerful your presence becomes. Over time, developing this type changes your relationship with the world. People begin to respond differently, they listen longer, trust quicker, and open up faster. You stop needing validation because you already feel it from within. That's the quiet confidence people can't quite name but never forget. The charismatic seducer reminds us that influence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from emotional coherence, being fully yourself, fully present, and fully at ease. When your inner world is calm, your outer world bends to it. That's the true psychology of charisma. It's not what you project, it's what you embody. Once you stop trying to be magnetic and start being grounded, attraction becomes inevitable. The charismatic seducer is the person who seems to light up a room without even trying. They don't chase attention, it just bends toward them. There's something magnetic in the way they move, speak, and make others feel seen. You can't always explain why you're drawn to them, only that you are. Charisma isn't just charm or confidence, it's emotional electricity. It's presence mixed with warmth, confidence balanced with humility, and a touch of unpredictability that keeps you intrigued. At its core, charisma is psychological. It's less about beauty or status, and more about how someone makes you feel about yourself. The charismatic seducer intuitively understands that people crave to be seen, validated, and emotionally stirred. They know how to make you feel like you matter, not by flattery, but by genuine, focused attention. That's the secret, they draw people in not by trying to be interesting, but by being deeply interested. Imagine walking into a crowded space where everyone's trying to be noticed, loud laughter, exaggerated gestures, rehearsed confidence. Then, there's one person who seems calm, present, and quietly assured. They don't fight for attention, yet everyone's attention drifts to them. That's the charismatic seducer. Their power comes from emotional poise, they don't need approval because they already move as if they have it. That self-contained confidence is hypnotic in a world addicted to validation. In real life, think of someone like Barack Obama. His speeches aren't just persuasive, they're rhythmically soothing. He pauses in the right places, maintains eye contact that feels personal even through a screen, and speaks with a calm authority that lowers defenses. He doesn't overwhelm with force, he seduces through steadiness. That's charisma in its pure form, a command without aggression, certainty without arrogance. Or take someone like Rihanna. She doesn't just perform, she embodies an effortless confidence that makes you want to lean closer. Her charm isn't theatrical, it's in the casual shrug, the slow smile, the unbothered energy that says, "I don't need your attention, but you'll give it anyway." The charismatic seducer understands that mystery is more powerful than exposure. They don't overshare, they reveal just enough to keep curiosity alive. Psychologically, charisma operates on three main levers: presence, emotional attunement, and controlled vulnerability. Presence means you're not distracted or divided. You listen fully, you notice micro-expressions, you respond with intention. Emotional attunement means you sense what others feel without them needing to say it, you read energy as fluently as language. Controlled vulnerability is where you let others glimpse the human beneath the confidence, a flash of honesty, a hint of imperfection, something that makes you relatable without diminishing your power. The charismatic seducer uses these instincts naturally, but they can be developed. Presence, for instance, is a skill of slowing down. The next time you talk to someone, remove your phone, silence your inner monologue, and give them your full attention. People can feel when you're genuinely present, and it disarms them. Emotional attunement can be trained by studying expressions, tone, and pacing. Watch how people react when they're comfortable versus when they're guarded. The charismatic seducer sees these cues instantly and adjusts, they match energy, then subtly lead it. Controlled vulnerability, though, is where true charisma forms. When someone appears perfect, they intimidate. When someone is too self-deprecating, they lose authority. The charismatic seducer lives in the balance. They might share a brief story about a time they doubted themselves, but they do it with reflection, not self-pity. They reveal enough to build trust, but never enough to lose mystery. It's a psychological equilibrium few master. To apply this in daily life, stop focusing on being liked. Focus on being emotionally grounded. Before entering any interaction, stabilize your internal state, breathe, slow your rhythm, speak from your center. Charisma flows when your nervous system is calm, because calmness transfers. People mirror the energy they're given. If you're grounded, they feel safe. If you're tense, they feel uneasy. The charismatic seducer leads not by control, but by emotional influence. In conversation, don't fill silence too quickly. Let pauses breathe. Silence makes your words heavier. When you do speak, speak deliberately, with warmth in your tone. Ask questions that make others reflect, not just respond. Instead of "How was your day?" ask "What was the most interesting part of your day?" The difference is small but powerful, it pulls people into depth. In relationships, the charismatic seducer doesn't rush intimacy. They build tension. They let moments linger, they hold eye contact a second longer than usual, they make people feel chosen in a world of constant distraction. This controlled intensity creates emotional anticipation, people remember how you made them feel more than what you said. In leadership, charisma becomes influence. A charismatic person doesn't command obedience, they inspire belief. They articulate vision in a way that makes others want to be part of it. Think of Steve Jobs. His charisma wasn't about friendliness, it was about conviction. He made people feel that what they were doing mattered, that they were part of something larger. The charismatic seducer channels that same energy, they make people feel significant through association. But charisma without integrity becomes manipulation. That's the dark side of the charismatic seducer. When someone learns to control emotional energy without empathy, they can easily exploit it. Cult leaders, narcissistic partners, and political demagogues often have intense charisma. They use emotional resonance as a tool for control rather than connection. That's why true charisma is always anchored in authenticity, it amplifies what's already inside you. To truly embody this type, don't imitate. Integrate. The most magnetic people are congruent, their words, emotions, and body language align. You can't fake emotional presence. The moment you try too hard, it collapses. Charisma emerges when you become deeply comfortable with yourself. It's not performance, it's expression. So if you want to cultivate the charismatic seducer within you, start by learning emotional discipline. Stay calm under pressure. Notice people more deeply than they notice themselves. Speak with deliberate warmth. Share enough to be human, but hold enough back to be intriguing. Over time, people won't just listen when you speak, they'll feel something when you enter the That's charisma. It's not learned from books or born from looks, it's shaped through presence, empathy, and inner stillness. The charismatic seducer doesn't seek the spotlight. They become the light.